Well, she's gonna be mad as fuck, but we got questions.
Yeah, what's up?
We got questions. So hold on. Okay, so how'd this go with because I didn't want to fuck the story up again. So with her being sick and you calling for her to go to the hospital, how'd that go down?
So this is kind of part of the story that I told last night too. Was
Right.
it had been a few days that anyone had heard from her, and this was also the time frame. Which, tell me if the wind gets too bad too. I'm outside. This was right around the same time frame as when I had gotten in touch with someone that knew her father, had sent her father over there, and her dad had talked to the boys through like the window. It's either on their door or near their door, like a side thing. And they just said mom's sick, and they wouldn't let them inside. I don't know why. But what happened, and I learned that from a person who I had spoken to that knew her, that knew her dad. And so it was me and I think a group of 5 other people that are also creator friends and such on here. They're no longer friends with Brittany either, but I don't want to put their names out there too much. I think you could deduce who was around in that time frame, but it was all of us, and we were all messaging and calling her for those 2 days. And then it came to the point where multiple people had sent her messages like, someone needs to give us a call, or we're going to call in a welfare check because we don't like how this is all going. Like, we're worried something bad is actually happening, and a lot of different things. So it was a group of us. One individual person called. I was not the person who dialed, but we were all on the phone while that person dialed because that person is in her state. So we didn't want it to be like an out-of-state thing because we were genuinely worried. So that's when the police went over there. They heard the whole story. They went over there. And then it was Craig and his dad that had to carry her to the front door because they weren't going to let the police inside. But we had told the police, like, no, we want you to lay eyes on her. We don't want you to take anyone's word for it. And so they like hobbled her one under one arm, one under the other arm over to their front door to show that she was fine. And then they left, and that was the end of that. Well, the next day, actually after that call is when Craig called me on Brittany's account. And was like, how dare you send the police to our house, blah, blah, blah. I was like, it's been 2 days. This was not normal information when we go talking 24/7 and YouTube literally being the only thing on her mind. To not only is she not going live, but she's not responding to anyone. It was a red flag. And then it was the next morning she ended up taking an ambulance to the hospital, which is when she had her first diagnosis of the cellulitis. She also had a few other things. I don't want to get too much into her medical, just the cellulitis because that's out there. But and she was in there for 5 days, and yeah. And so it was to the point where she was not doing anything. She was just laying in bed and so sick that she couldn't even like get up to do anything. And when I had finally talked to Craig, I said, well, can I at least talk to her? And he was like, well, I'm not going in the room. I don't want to get sick. So
he's such a caring person.
Well, yeah, and the first thing was, it wasn't like, and I have messages of Brittany being like, thank you saved my life. So I'll have to find those and send those over. But there's a lot to it. And then the other one that you mentioned, which was when they went to the wrong house, that was kind of the red flag that started our friendship from being very close, because I had found out by either the next day or the day after what had actually happened. And I had told her because I had spoken. She asked me to put in the FOIA so that we could get the call, because we're like, oh, we could figure out who swatted you. And then when I did, they finally were like, no, it was an accident. It was a 911 call that came from down the road. And they had to go back, and they accidentally stopped at her house. Well, when I told Brittany that, she was like, no, that's not what happened. Like, I called and talked to them too. And the person that I talked to went to high school with Craig and knows Craig, and they said that they already knew about the swatting and they're looking into it. And then she said they must have accidentally deleted the 911 call and so on. So like it was at that point when I was just like, well, I'm not going to be a part of that then, because I already told you what I found out. And I was like, no. So then I'd never answered questions about it again. If someone came to me, I'd be honest with them, but like I wasn't. That was like the start of me being like, you're lying. And so, yeah, that's all.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really shocked. I'm not really shocked at all. Craig was probably in the middle of his gaming session. He was like, listen, I don't want to go in there and get sick. I got a level to finish, and he probably just wanted to finish that level. That was a joke.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Oh, well, I got a phone call. I wasn't sure.
That was a joke.
Were you there at the same time as Angela? clips in. Okay.
Nope. So I started in November of 2022 is when I started watching her, and then I left July of 2023. So, but what else was I going to say? There was one other time, I think, before the welfare check one that I questioned, and it was she did a live in regards to one of the kids being sick with something, and she wouldn't tell everyone the exact diagnosis because she was making it seem like it was a like deathly illness. They're going to have so many medical bills and all this stuff. Well, it was one of the kids that she doesn't have custody of or wasn't with. I don't know about the custody. I don't know. But and I remember.
Doesn't she
What?
get Medicaid? Like, doesn't she get like? Medicaid?
We never talked about any of that.
Yeah, I figured she does. To be honest with you,
She said it.
Yeah.
So
on one of the videos that Dear Terms of Service had put out.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure she gets some sort of government aid help when it comes to help, like insurance. So there shouldn't be any huge bills coming in.
But no, and yeah, I was there. I helped her fill out the information after his dad died too, and all that. So
stop the cap. You helped him fill out the information for when his father died, like
not all of it, but I was helping them when they found out about the separate life insurance policy, and I was trying to help them figure out everything that they needed to do and fill out and stuff like that, and that series of events. So.
Wow.
So they no offense to you, but you're a stranger on the internet, and they let you have access to all their private information to fill out documentation.
I mean, to be fair, I think they considered her a friend, right?
Yeah. Well, and it was very much like that. Like, there's still, I mean, they're just not, it's not something that they think about. They don't think about, like, internet dangers. I mean, when she first got the second channel, the Allegedly in My Opinion channel, it was Allegedly in My Opinion with Mallory and Brittany. And I had the password to it after she gave it to me. And she goes, here's the password to the channel, but don't tell anyone because it's Craig's social security number.
Oh my God.
So, and it's like, no, that's never, I'll say that, but it's like, I'm never going to give his social security number to
well, it's
anyone.
too late now.
Never...
You know Craig's social security number. Like, because you gave
well, I think she knows I'd never use it, but I mean, I think that is one of those things that explains exactly where the mindset was of like internet danger.
Yeah, because
you know what I
was
mean?
thinking to myself, like, for you to fill out those documents, you probably have to give that person would probably have to give like a social security number, bank account information, shit like stuff like that you can easily just use against them for stealing their identity or something like that.
Yeah, and I think she knows that I'm not that person, which is why she trusted me. Because still to this day, I would never. But it's one of those things where she just keeps lying about everything and switching the way things happen, and it's gross.
That is That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in quite a while. That you would randomly give a person. No offense to you, Mallory, but I don't know.
No, I know.
Like you would give randomly not only the owner help with your main income, the password, but also tell them that that's the social security number of your significant other, and then have them fill out documentation for an insurance policy in which you could have been, in all honesty, you could have been fraudulent and switched it up to your name or some other person's name if you really wanted to, and done something like that, which is wild to me because it's like, okay, that's just a level of stupidity. I have never heard. Am I like overreacting on level?
No,
that is.
No, that's
for me.
Oh no, hell no.
I think for me, it's just because I know that I would never do it. So to me, I'm like, oh, that's not stupid because I'm trustworthy. But then for everyone else that's like, doesn't know me or doesn't know anything else, I understand why it's crazy.
I to be completely honest with you, I would probably double check my own sister. I wouldn't probably even trust my own sister to fill out documents because I would think she would screw it up. To be
ditto.
We were on FaceTime while they were filling it out. So
why would you use your spouse's social security number for your channel passwords?
Well, hopefully, Brittany, you've changed that, huh? Let's hope that.
Shit.
I'm telling you, I don't.
Yeah, she has.
Is her name?
I don't think
his name.
I don't think they're under his name though, because we've had that conversation. And she said, I can't ever put anything under Craig's name because his name's already associated to 2 or 3 YouTube accounts that have been taken down, and so she never wanted to risk that.
That makes sense.
I don't know though otherwise.
That makes sense. I mean, listening to what he says, I'm not shocked. So having a person that is ban evading,
this dumbass that we set up our Rumble as a backup. No, baby, we've had that Rumble over there for the last 1.5 years, 2 years almost sitting there.
You've had it for a year. You got it because Jenny Jen, because we wanted to to do a live stream on the shit bags, and they kept on doing privacy, so we just did it there.
Yep.
But you got good views there. You get like almost 8,000 views on those videos.
I know. I get good fucking views over there. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to sidebar. Go ahead, baby.
I mean, I have both too. I have a Rumble and
yours. Yeah, you get good views too. We just shared your link out, and Wispy's and somebody else's too. Like we were sharing links in there too.
I think I even have a kick.
You should
I
do
don't
it.
have one
Kevin.
of those. I don't even want one of them.
I'm
I don't know how to
telling you.
use all these apps. I'm having a hell of a time trying to learn how to do the Rumble thing. So
You need to get like a notebook and write it down, like how to do each one.
And no, I'm not going to share anything. I don't even have it anymore.
Yeah, we're not
Just for
expecting.
future reference.
Yeah, we're not expecting that. We're not asking for anything like that. No worry.
I know the chat was like, she's not going to share it. No, of course not. There's a lot of things that I have that I'm never going to share just because I did respect that
Obviously.
friendship with Brittany. But I will also put out things if she continues to lie. Not things that are personal to her, but things that prove that she's lying.
So were you? I got a question. Were you around when Angela's Clips and Giggles said that she took off and left Craig for 2 days and stayed at the hotel and lied to you guys about it? Lied about having.
Nope. No, I wasn't. But it tracks. That was more of the. That was more of what I was hearing versus what's going on now. So I was shocked when you said it earlier, but it's not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm still like flabbergasted with the whole idea that they. So he had you fill out paperwork.
I was on the phone. I was like on FaceTime with them while they were filling it out, helping them fill it out.
And they were like, "Oh, okay. How do you fill this out? And here's my social security."
Yeah, they were like, "Okay, let's put this here. Let's put this here." And then like, I'm like, "Okay, well, you guys have to go to the court. You have to do this. You guys have to do this." She's like, "Okay, we're going tomorrow. We're doing this." Like, all of that stuff.
But like, if it's an insurance policy, the one thing I don't get is because I collected. Unfortunately, I've collected on insurance policies.
Yep.
If you're named in it, all you need to do is send a death certificate, and you get it. Oh, he wasn't named. Oh, okay.
And it was a separate one. So he was not named in the actual will. And then the one that I helped her with was his works death benefits that they didn't know about. And it didn't have a beneficiary. So it would have gone to next of kin. But since his older brother has passed away, it went to Craig. But he needed to go in and become the beneficiary of everything and like the whatever it's called for like the household.
Oh, okay. I see.
To be able to like get the stuff signed over for the house.
Okay. And is that the reason why he's having issues with that? Is there someone like trying to contest this of the house or something like that? Or you don't know?
I don't know exactly. But from what I've been sent from different people, it looked like they were just too lazy and didn't file certain things.
Makes sense.
But I have no idea.
I mean, if they're having just you helping them randomly helping them fill out documentation, I would think that they're pretty lazy people, you know. But yeah.
And like I said, at the time, I'm just helping a friend try and help that. So.
Well, that's what happens. You know, no. To be honest with you, I'd probably have told them just to go to an attorney.
Yeah.
I think like the fact is like I'd be like, listen, you shouldn't be asking people online for help how to fill out documentation and stuff like that. This is something you should go to probate court, like an attorney to deal with and do that way.
Well, look at the positive. If they need help now, they're getting it from Kim.
Oh my God. The lady that's been wrong in every single case she ever has commented on. Holy fuck. Like there's been no actual legal case that she's commented on that she has not fucking completely been wrong on. That lady's an idiot. Actually, she's worse than an idiot. At least an idiot knows they're an idiot. That woman is a woman that will actually think that she's right, but gets it wrong all the time. She's worse than an idiot. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, like, why did you guys eventually just like, what? You know, the one thing I'm like, she's like, what did she do with that broke the camel's back? To be like, you said, fucking walked away.
So it was kind of a lead up of things. But then, so I'm in Minnesota. I'm not going to obviously dox everywhere.
You don't need to tell me the state. I'm fine.
Well, no, it goes towards the story. So there was a Madeline Kingsbury case down in Winona, Minnesota. I had done a live with Brittany where Maddie's best friend Katie had come up on the panel. It was all last minute. I interviewed her about Maddie's case and everything, kind of so on and so forth. Me and Katie ended up getting very, very close. Maddie's family invited me down with Katie to the memorial and everything like that. So I had gone down. And then Brittany got mad that night that I was not on the live because I was sitting in the lobby of the hotel till late talking with Maddie's friends and family. And she was upset that I didn't just go up to my hotel room and come on the live. So that was like the big thing. And then it comes to when she had the fake offer, the fake, what's it called? Sponsorship. Thank you. Sorry. This fake sponsorship that she had received. And it was kind of my last straw because it was one of those things where it was like, I don't want your money. I don't want half of the channel, but I want you to start treating me as a co-host, not just when it benefits you. And so she had kind of come in and said a whole thing. And I had given her like, you either start treating me, you know, like a full-time co-host, or I'm going to be taking a step back because I work a full-time job. I have a life outside of YouTube. I can't keep staying up till 2, 3, 4 a.m. doing all this when you only choose to use me for the content on YouTube versus like actually as a partner in this, which is what she's telling me behind the scenes. And so it ended up being that. And then this all went down the night that I was at Maddie's memorial. And so it was after that. And then she didn't ask me about it till the next day. Like, how was the memorial? Blah, blah, blah. And then she kind of just blew it off. And I was like, you're not a good friend. And so that was kind of the thing. And then there was a blow up that happened behind the scenes with a few other people. And it just was one of those where I'm like, I need to just take myself out of that situation. And then I said, we can have a phone call and discuss this, whatever. She never called me. So it was 8 months of closest friendship, talking 24/7, doing everything together, virtually, obviously, but FaceTiming, everything. And it ended with, she didn't even give me the decency to a phone call to talk about anything. So
What a lovely person.
yeah.
Totally
So
I'm sorry she did that.
no, and like I said, the only reason I'm more vocal about it now is because I'm definitely in a place now where her lies and stuff, it's more just annoying. It doesn't like affect my daily life. So it doesn't make me like upset anymore. Cause like when I left, it was heartbreaking for me. I literally I laid in bed for like a week because it went from like every single day to just nothing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you considered her a friend. That's really shitty that she did that.
She was my best friend. Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I'll never be the person that she is. So there's a lot of stuff that I have that I won't ever share. And she can know that I'm not threatening her with it. There's a lot of things that I will never share because I'm not her and I'll never be her. I don't need YouTube like she needs YouTube. So, and now I just come and I enjoy myself. So I'm really glad that I found Clue and Cletus too, because you guys crack me the hell up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's. You know what? I think it's fun over here, and I'm glad you guys. Like I said, I'm glad you gave us an opportunity to. Because I'm sure they probably said, "Don't go over there. They're terrible. They're hate channels. They're shitty people."
Well, and the amount of people that I'm friends with now after I left that she had told me were such horrendous people is existential, because it's literally like the best people I've ever met in my life.
See, I know we got some good fucking people over here. Straight up, some really good fucking, genuinely good-hearted people, genuinely good souls, good people. Don't get me wrong. We've had some bags too. We've had some real shit bag motherfucking people. Don't get me wrong. But for the most part, this community over here, we have a really good community of very good people.
Yeah. And it's been really nice for everything to be so welcoming. And I do appreciate that. I thank all of you for knowing that I'm literally here for you guys and your content, not for the asspats, regardless of if I like them or not.
Everyone's good.
Well, I mean, you're gonna, you're gonna be talked about regardless. You already know that. So most of the shit she says, we already know what time it is, and we know why she's saying half the shit she's saying. So you don't have to worry about that. We know what it is.
Well, everyone's good here except for Duke. That's the only one that's not good. Duke's the only one that's not good.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
I want to say I'm glad that you find laughter with me and fiance, and you do not look like a page boy, by the way.
You know what though? When you're dressed up like her and you guys are playing her, you guys, when she was insulting you guys, I said, well, I don't know what the fuck she's doing, insulting her. She's insulting her goddamn friend while she's sitting with her on the panel because you guys were dressed up as her, like her. You know what I mean?
Well, and the thing is that was like one of the most fun lives I've done in a while over on Nonsense, mostly because I had pulled something in my neck, so I was on pain meds for my neck. So I don't remember a lot of it, but I knew that Nonsense would kick me if I went too far. But she also keeps saying like, oh, she's going to use the pain meds as her out of her way. I'm like, no, bitch, I said everything I said. Like, I don't regret anything I've ever said.
On everything, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
but they don't do that, right?
No,
like
not at all. Well, I think the craziest part is that I was her co-host for 8 months, and you would never know that going to her channel. I'm nowhere on the channel, which is nuts.
Even your old videos?
Nope, they're all gone.
Wow.
She removed all of them?
Pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure there's nothing before, 2023, I think? And I left in July of 23.
Damn. Well, I mean, I know there's nothing on there now because she took them all down. But I'm saying prior to that, I didn't realize that she had taken all your stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But do you guys have any more questions? I'm at my dad's house. So
no, go ahead and skedaddle, baby. Go ahead. No, it's
okay.
Fine. Go ahead.
Feel free though. You guys can reach out to me if you do have any more questions.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
All right, baby. Bye.